Good day. We're going to talk a little bit more creation theories, and we're talking. My bold uh, topic title that I put up there was "Reflection of Us in the Heavens." Upon death, is there a star born? And what my theory is the the universes and the galaxies and in space expands to people when we die. We live and we die. The stars, I believe, are a reflection of what we do in our lifetime, and it has something to do with. I can't get too scientific in it because I'm not a scientist in that, in that sense. I'm more probably closer to the lines of a botanist and work with plants. So I can't tell you why exactly I have a theory saying that I think that stars and planets and other things do different things that reflect what we do here on Earth. Everything does. So all people in general doing everything that we all do, there's a reflection of that in all of the stars. And that's all I mean. And there's something specific, I believe. I don't know. Like I said, I can't get too specific and scientific on it. But all I can say is I believe my theory is that when people die, there is something phenomenon that we don't understand that happens in space, like a star being born when we die. I don't know if it goes backwards or or forward somehow. When we die, it does something weird. But that's just what I think, something weird like that. So we're going back to the Pangaea, and I got this cutout here, the Pangaea. Well, it's not actual cutout. I cut it out. I asked for a cutout um, when I asked for this thing so I could cut it into pieces. But I'm working with what I have, and I'm kind of glad maybe that I have this in particular. So they put all of the continents together was a man's theory. We'll look it up right now. We'll see if we can find out. Theory. Yeah. The 1915. The origin of continents and oceans. Die Entstehung der Kontinente und Ezerne. Okay. He postulated that before breaking up into different drifting to their present location. I'm trying to give Alfred Wagner his theory of the continental drifts. Okay, that's who it was. German meteorologist Alfred Wagner. Okay. He's the one that came up with the Pangaea Theory. So they're all together in one. Okay, but how they give us this is this with a main body of ocean that would have had to have completed itself if it had the same amount. I'm saying that water was added to the planet during the separation of these continents, and the planet was much smaller, and it was once a more of a continental feature than an ocean-like feature planet, and the oceans added through time, that expanded the planet to the size that it is now. So if you count the amount of body of ocean, I wanted to say continent first, but I'll say body of ocean to the amount of continent that you have, that's how much through time it has since Pangaea. In my opinion, in my theory of it, that is how much the earth has expanded and grown since the Pangaea. So it was once, whenever you look at it like that and you're trying out my theory, the only thing I could do is the glass of water theory, where a glass of water, if you take a piece of paper, put it to a bottle. So I don't know if people have ever seen this before, but going around, you said it's on a large glass. We'll use this peroxide bottle because that's all I have. I don't have a glass in here. So you go around, okay, to the amount. This is the glass theory that I have of the Pangaea. This is what I start off with. So instead of a ball, I use a glass. See, now a glass, it's got that much that it overlaps. So whenever you look at it this way, it's way taller going around the thing, the bottle, than it is how tall the thing is. The thing would have to be that tall in order for it to match up to the glass. So I just I just say that and throw that in there for my glass theory approach. So here it is. The continents, when they reach around like a glass, they connect on the other side. See that? So then you take the glass that it's in, the world's in a glass shape. However you would explain the name, I know they have a name for it, like a triangle or something like that, some kind of sphere or something, right? So it's a glass, and it connects to the other side. Is my theory correct? So then you take it from there, then you make a ball, and then you put this into a ball sphere, and then you can complete that once you adjust all the continents, starting from Africa, pretty much in the middle. I was thinking it was on the top for some reason, but it's not. Africa is right in the middle, and then you separate and split the continents from there. In order to really elaborate the true shape of what Pangaea, the hell Pangaea used to be actually exactly like. So now I just wanted to talk about divine healing. So we talked about Pangaea, manifestation of us into the stars. When we live, we die. It all reflects in the stars, what we do here. So now divine healing. This guy right here, I'm not I'll explain why, but I'm more of a believer than a non-believer of this guy in particular and these other evangelists that I've seen in person. I've seen some crazy stuff. A person that I'm very close to is my grandmother had got healed in church, and she was gonna have to have um, surgery. So now I guess people could argue that it's something. Speaking of manifestation, we could say that your body heals itself somehow, maybe because you believe that much. But I mean, how far can we all go with what we all believe? But I just wanted to explain that. I don't have really anything else to talk about. I wanted to talk about this experience that I had when I seen my grandma get healed one time when I was probably 15 or 16. I was young. I was a youngster. I was young enough to be in like youth group. So we were at Sunday church, and we were basically not pushing, not pushed, forced to go to church. If we went to church, we basically went on our own. So it wasn't like we used to go all the time when I was a child, but then as I grew up, we just we separated from the church a little bit, and if we went to church, it was all on us. And I used to attend a lot with my grandma, and I used to make friends and stuff like that in the church, where I had some girlfriends I met too. Anyways, so this guy came here, just like this guy here, and I can't remember what his name was, but they were affiliated with the Assembly of God Church, and this guy came there, and he was asking everybody, whoever wanted to be healed. Then he would have um, several other people like ushers, like deacon type of people, would come up from up behind the person, and they would put their hand on the person, and then they would all pray for him. And they healed the people. The guy had severe arthritis in his hands. His hands were all decrepit. He couldn't even hold a glass. And his hands were completely flexible after this guy worked on him. And the strange phenomenon, he worked on my grandma too, and she just happened to be somebody who I knew in particular, you know, um, basically more so than most people for your grandma's sake. And she had bad hips and was going to have surgery, and so they did the same thing with her, and she got up and ran instantly. So it was like an instant healing. So it's not like um you go, and I don't know about like deformities, like gunshot wounds and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think that you can heal the flesh in particular, but as far as her bones went and these people's tendons and muscles and other stuff like that, whatever problem it surely does. I'll give the science people credit by saying that it is connected to the person's mind. So as far as spirituality goes, I can't really explain all that too much, but I can say that was one reason why I believe um, in Christianity, why I'm a firm believer. And I also it has a lot to do with maybe the way that I talk. I don't really come off um, always too much like a critic. If I do, I make a serious comment people want to know the answer to usually, or I would think would. And it's not some stupid question. It could be a hardline question, but like say for atheists in particular, but I'm not gonna ask them no stupid question. You know, I don't believe that that would be the case. So, anyways, but I believe that probably socially, like because you talk or whatever, you let me talk to you enough. I believe that I have a range and power of conversion, of being able to convert people to Christianity. And I'm far from perfect too. I have a relationship with God, but um, I'm not innocent. I'm not an innocent angel or anything like that. I could be, but right now, just I'm not necessarily completely with the world or all this sinful guy, this morbid person or anything like that. I just like am like anybody else, and I get caught up with life and stuff, and I do things honestly that might not be Christian like. So you say like you see women doing things that might not be ladylike. People aren't acting necessarily their own self. But I wanted to share another story there with people so that they could hear something, because I said this is strange phenomenon talk. I come on here to necessarily try to get people to give a storyline to something that happened, something that they seen or witnessed that's mysterious or whatnot. But anyhow, since I see I have no views, I'm gonna go now. Since there's nobody to talk to, I just wanted to upload that and give people more of my Pangaea theory before it runs off too far for me. Like, come back here. But anyways, and the stars is something for people to think about. How we live and we die, and in space and time also. Time is connected to it also. Not just that we die and we're a reflection of the stars. When a star is born, when we die, or something like that. The actual time has something scientific to do with it also. And like I said, I'm a horticulturist, botanist, farmer type of person that has a lot of horticultural knowledge when it comes to plants and growing plants and stuff like that on the farm in particular. And that's where I'm basically been coming from for over 10 years. I did that as a hobby, where it was at very professional quality hobby stuff. And I don't know how people, if a lot of the times when they get a beautiful looking thing going look on their yard or whatever, if that has to do with them having their own spare time and having the hobby too themselves. But I think that's all great. And anyways, I wish everybody a good day, and anybody who watches this, appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good one.